The New York Giants season comes to an end as they lose 38-7 in Philadelphia. What does this mean about the Giants' future? Let's talk about it. And well. Welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm WickY2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. If you're new, please like and subscribe. If you're returning, welcome back. A like is very much appreciated. I appreciate all your support. So the New York football season has come to an end, and it was quite a season filled with a lot of highs and a lot of lows. It ended better for the Giants, I would say, than it did for the Jets. But I did want to come on today and talk a little bit about this Giants-Eagles game and try to put it in context a little bit. Now, when we did our preview video, there were a couple of things that we really tried to emphasize. One of them was I felt the Philadelphia Eagles were a better team on the lines, and offensive line and defensive line, and I felt that would be a huge difference. Well, if we look at the numbers, the Eagles had 8 quarterback hits. The Giants did not have a single quarterback hit on Jalen Hurts. And in the rushing game, the Eagles outrushed the Giants 268 to 118. But the other thing that I talked about was I felt the Eagles had to get off to a quick start. I felt this was not a Giants team you could allow to think that they belonged on the same field as Philadelphia. The Eagles had not been playing a very crisp, sound football over the last couple of weeks. The Giants seemed to be getting better and better and better as the weeks were going on. And I felt the Eagles were going to be in their best shape if they could take them out quickly, because the Giants are a resilient team. They won so many comeback games this year, and the Eagles were going to have to step their foot on the Giants' throats quickly. Well, what happened? Very first drive of the game, touchdown to Dallas Goedert. And then the Giants get the ball back, and the pivotal play, 4th and 8 from the Eagles' 40. And really, Brian Daboll could have done one of 3 things. He could have gone for it, he could have punted, he could have attempted the field goal. Now, I think Graham Gano is one of the most underappreciated kickers in the NFL over the last 20 years or so. He is so quietly consistent but gets no attention. But Daboll in his press conference thought that 57 yards was outside Gano's range. Maybe it was. I don't feel like I could question him there. But to go for it on 4th and 8, this wasn't 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. This is 4th and 8. To me, it just didn't make sense. I actually would have rather have seen Gano attempt the field goal rather than go for it on 4th and 8. I don't know. Against that Eagles defensive pass rush, which had 70 sacks this season, and you're counting because they're not going to run the ball on 4th and 8 most likely. If they did, maybe a screen pass would make sense. I just didn't think that made sense. 4th 1, 4th and 2, okay. Not on 4th and 8. Hassan Reddick, who was unbelievable in this game, he gets the sack. Next drive, the Eagles go down the field. Ping, poom, pom, pang. 9-yard screen pass to Devontae Smith. Touchdown. And at that point, down 14-0. The game's not over by any stretch, but you had to know at that point it was imperative that the Giants have an answer. What was the answer? Daniel Jones throws a pass. It gets undercut by James Bradbury, the ex-Giant, for an interception. You know, it was 14-0 after 1 quarter. It was 28-0 at halftime. You had to know at that point it was over. And here's the thing. The start to the game meant everything. Just think about these numbers. The Eagles ran 20 of their first 24 plays in Giants territory. There were games that, watching the Jets, I don't feel like they ran 20 plays in opposing territory in the last month of the year. It was crazy. First half, the Eagles outgained the Giants 258 to 64, 18 first downs to 3. And it's not just this game. If you look at the 3 Eagles versus Giants games this year, the Eagles outscored the Giants 61 to 7 in the first half of those 3 games. So here's the thing. The Giants had an excellent season. They overachieved. They did much better than anybody ever expected them to. That's a credit to the coaching staff more than anybody else. But you have to wonder at this point, what really is Daniel Jones? You know, the last couple of weeks, people have been calling him a superstar, that he's arrived. You know, he's made the leap. He needs to be signed to a long-term extension. I got to tell you, he did not look ready for this game at all. Now, the question is he bright enough to be able to use this as a learning experience and take his game to the next level? this game could not have given you a whole lot of encouragement. I mean, he went 15 for 27, 135 yards, 1 interception, an 11.4 QBR. And another thing we talked about was the Eagles had to figure out a way to take Daniel Jones out of the running game. He could not be running the ball. He ran 6 times for 24 yards. He couldn't read routes. I mean, the Philadelphia defense made him look like Zach Wilson in this game. That's the most direct way I could say it. They made Daniel Jones look like Zach Wilson. So this is a big decision that the Giants have to make. I definitely believe they're going to keep Saquon Barkley and sign him to a contract. But it is really up to what are they going to do with Daniel Jones? Do they work out an extension? Do they franchise him? May not be the worst idea in the world, but then you have the risk if he has a good season, you don't want to lose him, for nothing anyway. So you have to wonder, is this game going to take a hit in terms of the organization's opinion on Daniel Jones, or do you chalk this up as one rough game against a great defense? I don't feel like this one game can override the progress he's made this season. I don't believe he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL by any stretch. I don't even know if he's top 10, but he's ascending, and I don't think we've seen his ceiling just yet. So if I'm the Giants, I try to work out an extension, and you take the risks that he keeps getting better. But you know what? Who knows if Jones is going to be up for that? I mean, no player likes to be franchised. They want the long-term security, and I think coming off the seasons, Jones is going to really try to get that extension locked in at this point. Maybe I think I'd see like a 4-year to 5-year extension. I really do see it working out between Daniel Jones and the New York Giants during the offseason. The Giants have the money. They're on the uptick. They just got to get this kid some weapons. And again, don't know how great he's going to be, but he's proven that he can win games for this team, and I think they can believe in him going forward. Well, those are my thoughts on Giants-Eagles. I want to hear your thoughts. Put them down in the comments on this game. What do you think about Daniel Jones and his future with the Giants? Did this game give you any second thoughts about where the Giants are heading in the future? Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.